So today's video is being a platoon leader. My experience is being a platoon leader and a certain platoon leader. So my basic branch is Ordnance, but I went to a sustainment brigade, which is sustainment brigade has Ordnance, transportation, and quartermaster are mixed in between, and a little bit of maintenance, which is kind of Ordnance as well. So I'm an Ordnance officer. I was a platoon leader, but I was a transportation platoon leader. I was a bulk fuel transportation platoon leader. So I made a list of everything that I went through during my platoon leader time, and also give you guys some advice when you become platoon leaders. So let's get started. So the first thing, like I said, I was part of a bulk fuel transportation company. I did not know what that was. I didn't know where to go about or who to talk to or anything. So once I got to that company, I talk to the commander. You know, once you get your company, you talk to your commander, you talk to your first sergeant, and you talk to your training room and your pack clerk to get everything processed for you, make sure that everything is good with you being in the company. So what I did was I did my research on the company, and I did my research on the type of equipment that I was going to be having and the responsibilities of a platoon leader, a bulk fuel transportation platoon leader. So I did my research. So the first thing I tell you guys is do your research if you don't know the responsibilities of that platoon leader doing the transportation. Next is property accountability. So once you become a platoon leader, you're gonna get property. So what they do is the commander gets the property, he breaks it down between each platoons. So let's say if you have 2 platoons, so one platoon will have property and the second platoon will have property. So what he does is sign it, or she does, what they do is they sign it down to the platoon leader. Once you sign out platoon leader sign it to the platoon sergeant sign it to the squad leaders, and squad leaders sign it to the lowest level. Once all that is happening, they will give you a copy of their hand receipts and their hand receipts for the other people as well, and to make sure you put it in your binder. So I'm gonna make a video of that, of how I did my property accountability binder for you guys, to show you guys what I'm talking about. So I think that would be very helpful. The next thing is plan accordingly. So when I say plan accordingly, is me. So when you have a mission and then you have another mission on top of that mission that comes down, make sure you plan your soldiers out accordingly. You don't want the same soldiers to be on the same mission for the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has to spread the love around. So I would say break it up between this squad do this and the next squad does that mission as well, because you don't want the same people, even though they're good at it, doing the same thing, because everybody has to learn their job. So my biggest problem was I'm very hands-on. I like to be hands-on, I like to be in it, I like to do it, and I like to execute. But being a platoon leader, your job is to plan. Once you plan, give that to the platoon sergeant. Platoon sergeant executes everything you want to be done. So that was one of my biggest issues, is allowing the platoon sergeant to do his job and I do my job. So basically I have to step back once I finish planning, give it to the platoon sergeant, let the platoon sergeant execute. So I would say the biggest thing is make sure that when you plan, you just have that what's the word I'm looking for, have that courage and faith that your platoon sergeant will execute it, and then trust but verify. Just go back after and make sure that everything is done, but don't do it as in like a suspicious way or like a micromanager way. Just go, you know, just walk around and make sure that everything that you tell him or her to do is being executed. The next thing is make sure you're building that relationship again with your platoon sergeant. So once you get there, you and your platoon sergeant should have a conversation, because you have to give that platoon sergeant his initial counseling. So you wait 30 days. Well, so when you get there, so 30 days you evaluate your platoon sergeant, and then after that 30 days you give him an initial counseling. So when you get that initial counseling should be everything you expect him to do, his leadership skills, everything. So everything from the list, from the nitty-gritty. And I would do a video on that too, what I put in my initial counselings as well. Every initial counseling that anyone does kind of be the same and kind of not be the same. It depends on what you want that individual to execute and at a timely manner. Okay, so the next thing is also with that, so I won't forget, so you will have platoon sergeants that switch out So I had 4 platoon sergeants during my time that I was a platoon leader. So when I first got there, it was a platoon sergeant switching out and then one coming in. So you will have different platoon sergeants, but you have to do that initial counseling as well. So if you have 4 platoon sergeants, you have to have 4 initial counselings as well. The next thing is learning from your peers and learning from your mistakes. That is a major one. Sometimes if you learn something from your peers, it might be something wrong they're doing and you might put your own little style to it, which is fine, but make sure that you execute that task as well. Never show your emotions at work. I tell my soldiers this, and I tell myself that every time I go to work. Don't show your emotions at work. If something happened at home, let it stay at home and you go to work. If something happened at work, let it stay at work. Don't bring it home, because all that negativity will just build up inside and you'll explode on someone. So never show your emotions at work. Next thing is criticism. You can take criticism or you can leave it. So if somebody tell you something that you did wrong, fix it and try to make it perfect. But if you can't, just keep moving along and try not to do that same thing over again. Alright, so communicating with your commander about what you want to do throughout your career. So when you get to your company, your commander will put you in and give your initial counseling, and you will have your 5-year timeline plan. Make sure your 5-year timeline plan is updated with the things that you want to do throughout your five years being here or being stationed at another duty station. So make sure that is updated, and so your commander will bring you in and he will ask you a couple questions of what you want to do in your career. Do you want to do 20 years? How many years do you want to do? Are you doing this just to pay off school, or what is your expectations about you being in the Army? The next thing is, like I said, 5-year timeline. Make sure that it's updated, because your company commander will see it and your battalion commander will see it. So make sure that they're setting you up for you to be successful. The next thing is have face-to-face with your battalion commander. Even though you're talking to your company commander, make sure you have that face-to-face time with your battalion commander, because he's like the top say so what you're gonna do within his battalion. So I would say have that face-to-face with your battalion commander. Anytime that you want to just walk in there and talk to him, just do that, you know. The next thing is mission or task. So execute missions and tasks the best way you can, the best way possible for you to complete it, and make sure that it's completed in a timely manner and on time. Okay, that is a must that you have to do, because you don't want to complete a mission which is late and then you have to send that up and then everybody's wondering like, why is this late and why is not on time. So you want to complete each mission and task on time as soon as possible as you can. So presence. So I put presence down as one of my big majors, because how are you going to be there for your soldiers if you're not present? How are you going to acknowledge your soldier if you're not present? How are you going to do PT and you telling your soldier to do PT but you're not doing PT? So don't contradict yourself. Do PT, be present, be at the right place, the right time, the right uniform at all times, so that your soldiers won't look at you and be like, okay, he's not doing it, she's not doing it, why I have to do it, you know what I'm saying? So present is a must. Be there at all times. Another thing is acknowledge your soldiers when they are doing something good, when they did something good, when they completed a mission. Acknowledge that soldiers in front of your platoon or in front of your company, because that plays a big part in that soldier's life, because that soldier's gonna feel like, oh, I did something that for the team, I did something for myself, I got a coin for it, I got an award for it, and I'm going to keep pushing along to further that soldier's career. So I think that is a good thing. I did that, and that boosted up my platoon morale very good. And that is one thing that I want you guys to do, is to acknowledge that soldiers, or that soldiers when they do something great. The next thing I have is having a good relationship with everyone, not just your supply sergeant, your company commander, your platoon sergeant, or stuff like that. Have a relationship with everybody, not like a lovey-dovey relationship, but like, hey, how you doing? How's the family? Everything's going good? I'm just checking up on you, make sure everything's fine. And then when you need something, or you want something, that person or that soldier will look out for you and make sure you have it. So I would say just build that good relationship and build that good morale with everyone, not just your platoon sergeant, your company commander, but with everyone, A big one that I wrote down is sometimes you might disagree with your peers, and you might find yourself in an altercation with your peers. But I would say one of my biggest things that I did wrong, that I think I did wrong as a platoon leader, is me and my body buddy had a misunderstanding on a situation, and I showed my emotions at work, but it was more of just me and that individual, but everyone knew. So my thing to you guys is, don't do that. If you have a problem with your peer, just pull them aside, not in front of everybody, and talk to them. Like I said before, respect goes a long way, and sometimes people disrespect you, and you just like, you're not there, but you're there. And when things get out of hand like that, you just want to step back, breathe, and just go on with the situation, and go on with the mission that you're doing, or something that just comes along. Don't let it dwell on you through the whole day, because when you do that, you're gonna be mad the whole day, and you're gonna be like, I should have did this, I should have did that, but you shouldn't have done anything at all. So I would say, just if you have that miscommunication with one of your peers, just y'all move to the side and you talk about it like grown-ups, and move on from there. So that's the biggest must for me. Be respectful. Like I said, respect goes a long way. Next thing is, the BC will have LPD, so leader professional development. He will call all the lieutenants in probably like a Monday. After PT, y'all come in, eat donuts, and drink coffee. Y'all will talk about things that will help you guys throughout your career, or things that you want done, or things that should be done differently. He will get to know each and every one of you guys, and you guys will get to know each and every one of you guys as well, because it's going to be all lieutenants, but from second lieutenants to first lieutenants. Everyone will be in the same room. Everyone will give their opinions and assumption about things, and you get it done from there. The next thing is, the BC will also give out a reading list. All the books that he or she read, and give advice back to you, of books that you should read, or books that is very interesting. And I'm going to do a video on that too, as well as the books that I have read, and the books that as my battalion commander has read as well. The last thing is events that's happening today. Make sure you're updated on all the current events that's happening today, because everyone will ask you about it, everything, your opinions about it, your assumption about it. And if you don't want to give your assumption or opinion about it, just let them know, I don't want to talk about it. Just be respectful, say it in a respectful way, and then everyone will go about their business. So if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.